bottom line is that the government is getting what they have ordered. They're getting what they have paid for. They do not want your children to be educated. They do not want you to think too much. That is why our country and our world has become so proliferated with entertainments, mass media, game shows, television shows, amusement parks, drugs, alcohol, and every kind of entertainment to keep the human mind entertained so that you don't get in the way of important people by doing too much thinking. You had better wake up and understand that there are people who are guiding your life and you don't even know it. And all American citizens, I think, have suspected something like this is going on.
Yo, welcome to the show, everybody. We're back with another one. Want to thank everybody for actually pressing play on this video.
Thanks.
Special thanks to our first and last time listeners. Appreciate all the feedback that you all have been giving us. It is greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Des,
you want to start off with the
don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We love to see the comments in the dang, I messed up.
Out in the section.
We love to see the comments
section. True.
Continue to write the. I don't know, it's a little brain messed
Tear up.
But continue to light up the comments, and also if you want to donate, please donate. You know, we want to continue to drop every week multiple videos and different discussions. We're trying to keep you guys informed. So thank you.
Amen. And the Cash App is right here at the bottom of the screen if you all look. So yeah, and if you all have any topics that you all may want us to open up or research, go ahead and either send us the email or put it in the comment section. Yep. Again, thank you for your support. But yeah, it has been another busy week. It seems as if, oh yeah, man, for sure. Well, first we'll start off with we always start off with the weather news. There's always some weird weather happening there somewhere. Yeah, exactly. There was flooding out in Georgia.
Georgia?
Yeah. Also, out in China, they had an earthquake. Over 65 people dead. And you know, China is having in the middle of a massive heat wave. Not only that, but they are on strict COVID lockdowns. I mean,
so they
woohoo lockdown.
They still in a heat wave.
Yes, massive heat wave. Massive heat waves with the woohoo lockdowns. They just had an earthquake over. So far, they're saying it's only 65 people that came up deceased. God bless those people. Yep. And not only that, but the earthquake caused mudslides out there. And we're talking about a city of, a country with over 21 million people. Of where this is happening at.
You mean the city?
I thought they billions.
Yeah, the city.
I was just gonna say, I thought it's billions over there in China. They say they got a billion.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, I'm talking about just the area that it's happening.
Not a billion.
Million. I maintain my status on China with this heat wave. Y'all built your own sun a couple months ago, and all of a sudden you having the hottest heat wave of the country, of the world. Yeah, I got questions about that.
So while we're sticking on heat, weather, we got over. Swiss authorities have threatened prison for heating houses above. It says, I don't quite understand it. It says above plus 19 degrees.
That's Fahrenheit. I mean Celsius.
Okay, above 19 degrees Celsius. But here's the interesting part. Okay, so the Swiss government has introduced administrative responsibility for citizens for heating homes above certain temperatures. Residents face jail time or fines. This was reported by the Swiss German language edition of Blick.
They said 19 degrees Celsius.
So in buildings heated by gas, the temperature cannot exceed plus 19 degrees Celsius. At the same time, hot water can only heat up to 60 degrees. Heaters should not be used. So they're saying you cannot use a heater. Residents of the country are also prohibited from heating saunas and swimming pools. An exception is only made for hospitals and maternity hospitals and nursing homes. Anyone who violates these rules will face imprisonment or a fine. In the case of intentional acts, it is possible to be imprisoned for up to 3 years or a fine. So listen, they're not playing about
19 degrees Celsius. That's 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Then they can't heat it up no higher than 60 degrees. Huh?
Yeah.
And it get mighty cold over there in the Swiss.
It says water can only heat up to 60 degrees. Yeah, so your water
get mighty cold over there in the Swiss, and they are also known for a lot of those, like you said, hot saunas and everything like that. Ooh, it's gonna be a party over there.
They probably used to a 66 degrees. That's not
what I'm saying.
But for the water, it gets in your home though. In your home, just imagine if it's 60 degrees in your home.
That is cold. Huh?
If it's 60 degrees in your house and it's 45 or 30 outside,
70 degrees, I feel like it's not too bad.
No. 70 degrees ain't bad. I'm saying if 66. It's this Swiss we talking about, so it's 30 some degrees outside and it's 60 in the house.
So if it's 30 degrees, 60, you get a 30 degree shift.
Okay.
You going out.
Listen. When it get cold out here. When it get cold out here, we're gonna experiment.
Y'all keep turn it above 66, we're gonna come arrest you.
What's the day?
3 years.
September 10th.
That is crazy, man.
Have a coconut smile.
They put all this stuff so you can get these smart temperature gauges just to
control
a form of control. So then when they put these in play, they're like, oh, okay, now we got the names and addresses of people who's heating their houses above 60 degrees, their water above 60 degrees, heating their pools above 60 degrees. Okay, now we got something for you.
Say, boss, they got their heat on 70. Turn it down.
Freeze it.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. It's too damn bad. Turn it down.
Okay, so what? Yeah. So, man, that is so.
That's wild.
But the same. Okay, so over out in California, they're under. They have what? They're under the Flex Alert.
Yep.
They're under the Flex Alert out in California. See, last show we had reported that they were on the brink of a blackout. So we're telling people, not to charge your EVs, your electric vehicles, try to preserve.
I really want you to think about this so-called energy crisis in California. So just a quick refresher, this is what Gavin Newsom had to say about it. Take a listen.
And today and tomorrow afternoon after 4 p.m., in particular 4 p.m., please turn your thermostat up to 78 degrees or higher and avoid to the extent possible using any really large appliances. You can visit flexalert.org to learn more about what you can do. Californians, you've rallied before and we can do it again. Keep it up.
So before we get into it, one thing I want you to take note of is what he's wearing. So he's telling you to put your thermostat at 78 degrees. Meanwhile, looks like he's in a pretty cool place if he's wearing that jacket. But anyways, let's give Gavin Newsom the benefit of the doubt. Let's pretend that there is a power grid crisis like they're saying. What did we just have last night? Remember this?
Super Bowl champion, Los Angeles Rams. Get out of your seats. Stomp your feet. It is time to rampage.
So yeah, while they're telling you that there's this crazy energy crisis in California, they had opening night of the football season in SoFi Stadium. So I looked up how much electricity does an NFL stadium use, and it says a professional stadium can use 5 to 10 milliwatts of electricity during an event, the equivalent of 5,000 American
electric. And he basically was saying, do not set your temperature gauges below 78 degrees, which is interesting to me because remember, we were reporting that in other countries outside the U.S., you couldn't set your temperature gauges above a certain degrees. Now, over in California, they were under this flex alert to where he was saying that do not set your temperature gauge above 78 degrees. Why, in the video that he made, he seemed pretty comfortable. Looked like he was in a cool atmosphere. And then, if they were really focused on saving this electric, they just hosted the football game there.
So check it out.
You know what I mean? Hold on. Wait. Don't skip over that, Mojo. They just hosted the football game there. You know how much electricity and all of that it takes to charge up, that studio and this new stuff that they got. So if you're really trying to preserve energy, maybe you probably wouldn't have. You probably would have said we need to host that football game somewhere else.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They need that money. Absolutely not.
You need that money.
As long as I tell y'all to turn your power off, I need to get some money from somewhere. Start that football game. Now, the principal of the president and the chief executive of California's independent system operator, he said the principal reason for them extending the alert is largely due to the uncertainty about how much production they will have from the renewable energy resources, primarily the solar resources, during the heart of the afternoon, going by him. And then it says smoke and clouds can cover Northern California are expected to affect the solar power supplies. Therefore, a wildfire burning west of the Lake of Tahoe is sending smoke blowing into the atmosphere. So there's a fire going on somewhere, wildfire out there west of the Lake of Tahoe. And that smoke is making its way over Northern California. It's blocking their way to get solar power energy. So since they've required everything be solar out there now.
And not fossil fuel, remember I was saying that.
And thank you. Without that, and now everything's solar, and you can't get the solar energy because clouds are covering it up. So what are you going to do to get it? Slow it down. Y'all slow down on your energy intake. We'll let you know when it's good to use again. Long story short.
And it gets a little hot out there in Cali, so if you want to be in your house with 78 degrees, you might as well go sit outside. Go sit outside.
I mean, they say the peak
forecast. There's almost 80 degrees in your house.
Yeah, they say peak forecasted energy demanded hover just below 50,000 megawatts. And they are demanded by Wednesday. Dang.
But the megawatts, I think it takes over, I forgot the amount that it takes for you to charge up, for you to get the football stadium started. So they wasn't worried about none of that.
Like I said,
The Rock was hosting.
Leave the football stadium alone. They ain't got nothing to do with this. They making money off of that. You calm down over there.
Right.
You leave their money out of it. Keep your hand out their pocket. But they said 78 degrees or higher, they're coming for you. Long story short. And if you don't believe that, that's what the California Water Police is for.
Yeah, they got California Water Police.
They got water police?
Yep. So to combat the shortage of summer 2022, California has deployed cities across California are deploying water police to crack down on those who are disobeying water restrictions. Now, in June, for example, Manteca City Council declared a drought emergency and began cracking down on residents and businesses that were guilty of wastewater using on grass. So if you were watering your grass, they come to lock you up. Oftentimes, we found that outside of irrigation is the biggest use of water for our residents. So reducing the amount of time in the days that they are wasting watering and really helping to scale back on the amount of water they are utilizing, land, and etc. Therefore, basically washing your car, watering your driveway or anything like that, or watering your glass, your plants, a garden, anything like that, they're locking you up. Long story short. This is declared by the Los Angeles Times, by the way.
And to piggyback off, a water crisis out in Baltimore for, the past week, they had some contamination of E. coli in their water, and they still can't find the source of where they came from. So they were under a boil order, and they said it just got lifted, but they still do not know where this E. coli came from or how it got in the water. So it seems like there's been a lot of water contamination going on lately, man.
If it's E. coli, I would say they're probably in a situation like Detroit where the water pipes are so dirty and run down that it's finally caught up to them, and that it's probably making its way to the surface, but who knows, because they'll never tell it. They will not lock you up. They'll be issuing water citations, warning water citations, and then they'll be giving you a money citation. So you'll have to be fined for using too much water.
So, man, if you don't get away from my door talking about water, I'm gonna wash my car.
Yeah, requiring that all homeowners reduce their water usage by 20%, especially those within the Los Angeles.
No more water sprinklers can be left on. You remember you used to walk down the street, people used to have their water sprinklers on and all types. None of that.
They said this was gonna make them come out. Watering your grass, that's what's gonna make them pull up on you.
They probably break your water sprinkler.
Black, come out here and step on it. Just turn this off, man. What's wrong with y'all?
You got out in New York, the governor, Kathy Hochul, I believe I pronounced her last name right, declared a state disaster emergency amid evidence of circulating poliovirus, a move that will increase the availability of resources, including expanding the network of polio vaccine administrators, state health officials said. So basically, New York governor just declared a state of disaster emergency for polio. Samples found in 5 counties, they said.
So we didn't have monkeypox, woohoo. Now we got polio.
Yeah, polio.
What else we got? I know it's something else.
And different strands of the woohoo too.
Yeah, I was just.
So what happened to all these strands of the woohoo? Did they just automatically disappear or what?
What happened to Omicron?
We still giving them.
What happened to the Delta?
Yeah, Omicron, Delta. All that.
Now they saying with the woohoo, you know, the shot may be administered like the flu shot, a yearly shot. But you know, you got some people who took like 5, 6 shots
yearly
already.
food. That's what it. Foolish enough. That's what gonna do for you.
Hey, like I said, man, you know, 4 or 5 shots in a year and you still can catch it.
And then you got to get one yearly now.
It's kind of questionable, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what are the requirements? Hold on, wait a minute. What are the requirements to get a 1-year shot? Because you have to be current on all your stuff. So you have to take what, 3 or 4 before you can get the yearly?
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay, so while we're on this, did you all hear about the comedian that passed away? What was his name? He was currently having a show on Netflix.
I was gonna say Ari Spears and Tiffany Haddish. I think their career probably is gonna pass away with these accusations. But you go ahead. Go ahead. I was just saying.
Right, no, we gotta talk about that. But no, this guy. I want to say. Mojo, can you look up the Netflix comedian? He wasn't a Netflix comedian, but a comedian who just passed away. Maybe his name was David Arnold. I don't know. He was a black comedian. He's currently in the middle. He was currently in the middle of a Netflix special, like a tour.
Is that the one that they say shot himself?
No. They say he died of natural causes, but he had just uploaded a video of him in the gym, running, pushing up, and all this stuff. But then I just watched a video clip of him making it at his special, doing a stand-up, basically saying people, you know, they can bring their dogs on planes, kiss their dogs in the mouth. People got all this nasty stuff in their mouth, but they don't even want to take the woohoo. You don't want to take the woohoo, you know what I mean? But you can do all this other type stuff. But it's
David A. Arnold.
Okay, so David Arnold. So in order to get into his show, in order to get into the shows, you had to be fully
woohoo.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, he just passed away of natural causes, man. Perfectly healthy man, working out and everything.
Like that woohoo. Not working out, talking all this stuff. Lord say, come on, okay, where you gonna play food?
Man, that's sad, man. But
come on home, you gonna play food? You gonna think these guys got your best interests? Okay.
So he come from Fuller House, the Full House reboot on Netflix, and then he had That Girl Lele, which was Nickelodeon's.
Yeah, and he was
as a producer. Okay.
Yeah, and he was just in the middle of a comedy special.
He probably got his hands all over his eyes and hands in this, you know how they do their sign. He's probably doing all that. You know what? I'm gonna one up. Since you say you gotta take, you can't come to my show unless you take the woo.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna show you how devoted I am.
Had a family and everything.
I'm gonna take every shot.
But doctors are coming out.
Special was called "It Ain't for the Weak."
Literally.
And his first one was called "The Fat Ballerina."
Now, it's awful mighty strange that doctors are starting to speak out.
Hey, rest in peace, though.
They locking them up, ain't they?
Who?
We're talking about the woo. Right? They're locking them up.
For what? What you talking about?
Doctors coming out talking about the woo.
Oh yeah, but doctors are coming out saying they're seeing an increasingly rapid rate of people young dying of just randomly dying all of a sudden, right? Like heart failure, heart failure, and all types of stuff. Heart attacks. They're seeing. They say they've never seen anything like this before. So
that's strange.
Oh, extremely strange.
Keep your eyes on the woo.
Yeah, for sure. Before I get into this, I did want Mojo.
Just in peace to the queen.
So.
Oh yeah, rest in peace to her. Rest in peace to the queen.
And the Jamaicans who finna celebrate her death for the next 12 days.
That's what they do.
Oh yeah.
They celebrate.
12-day celebration for the queen.
They eating that jerk chicken out there.
Oh, they eating more than jerk chicken.
Well,
it's gonna be a lot of red stripes going on.
So the thing, I had to talk with the guy. I don't judge, revenge is the Lord, so I don't even, so I just wish her the best.
That's why I said rest in peace.
She did. I think she was a believer. I don't know, but she was cool with Billy Graham, and she said Billy Graham
was a part of the club, and Queen Elizabeth was a part of the club.
Billy Graham was part of the club.
Yes.
Yeah, I found out. She told me. I was like, oh,
dang, Billy.
They got Billy too.
Now I don't know. I don't know at what stage of his career that he got in. But come on, you gotta think about it. He had this huge platform.
That man was in a football stadium.
He had stadiums.
Baptized.
They didn't put no regular pastor in those.
He tried to give the truth. He said the one that who carried the cross for Jesus Christ was a black man.
That boy used to baptize.
So
300.
He couldn't come out and say he knew the truth. He knew the truth.
Yeah, he knew.
You can't tell me he know. He knew. But he at least gave us carrying the cross.
That's what I said. He spoke on it.
He'll give us the workers.
Yeah, he
carried the Christ.
Give us Christ.
We know you as workers. Basically.
He's from y'all blood.
He say, now I can't really say. He wasn't.
There you go.
Yeah, he beat around.
Jennings. Yeah. Well, everybody around him was colored, so clearly, he would have been like the people around him. Same black men. He was around a bunch of black people, so therefore he was black.
Listen,
all you had to say was that he fled to all you got to say is that he fled to Egypt, running away from the Romans, right? Common sense would say if he fled to Egypt, why would a white man go around some black people running from the
Egyptians at the time were white people. Those Caucasians, man. We was over 3,000
They put you in front of a camera
in the hot sun. While now we can't even stand out in the sun like that.
You gotta think about it. That he was one of the biggest pastors, one of the biggest.
That's why I said he would baptize like 100 people a night. Bro.
Boy, he did tell him, stand up and come on.
You want to be baptized? Come on down.
You want to be baptized? And
he got 1. We got 2. We got 3. We got 4.
And you know what? Billy Graham has some decent messages. I'm not gonna lie.
He did.
He has some great messages because I listened to a couple of his sermons.
I went to sleep.
I was hurt. You brought him to me. I never heard of.
But you know what? I'm not saying now. I don't know how high he was.
But the fact that you was in it,
Yeah, but you
could be on the lowest of the totem pole.
You should know that one of the commandments is thou shalt not covenant.
Yep.
Thou shalt not covenant. You can't serve 2 gods.
Giving up the lowest law.
Thou shalt have no idols.
You can't serve 2 gods. You will work. You'll be devoted to one and despise the other.
Yep.
You would. I forgot.
Now I don't know if he started off being a part of the club. Now that I can't say, but I do know he was given the secret handshake with the other person.
Yeah, like I said,
it was given a secret handshake.
They do what they got to.
The Bible says, Matthew. Speaking of Billy Graham,
we got to get that.
Matthew 6 verse 24. No man can serve 2 masters, for you will hate one and love the other. You will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and be enslaved to money.
Facts.
Can't be, in back rooms.
Not a rich man in heaven.
Shaking hands. So you can get out here.
Doing more than shaking hands.
Make that money.
Shaking other things if you behind them doors.
Serve 2 masters.
But you know what? Before we get off Billy was making that money.
Like I said, Billy was getting I believe Billy was getting about 50.
If 50. You listen. Okay, listen.
How much I think dude was making? That was talking about the plane.
Okay, what plane?
People always say Creflo Dollar.
Creflo Dollar was making about 10.
Now listen, but check this out. Before let's just
sure. 1,000.
Yeah. Let's just
start the one that told me he got the whole he don't accept dollar cash apps from Creflo Dollar. Creflo Dollar didn't accept dollar donations.
$1 donation.
He don't do $1. It got to be $5 or better.
Listen, check this out. Let's have a little, just a 30-second conversation.
Let's get it.
If Billy Graham, let's just say if he was making because them football stadiums, oh my God. And you had people standing up. Now, if you making, let's just say if he made like 40 grand in one night, I bet he was, man, that's enough for anybody to kind of lose their mind. Like 40 grand. And I bet he went on a football stadium tour.
Let's say he got 20.
Because how many people sit in the football stadium for one?
Let's just say
how many people be in them football stadiums? And it looked like
tens of thousands.
And it looked like they were sold out.
Up to 20 something.
It looked like they was sold out.
I'm just saying, let's say he was getting $20 and he filled up a football stadium of 5,000. That's 100 racks right there.
I think it was like charging fee was, I think it said $15.
Okay,
that was for a Billy Graham conference.
I said 20, so let me go back and get $15. So let's say $15 for 5,000 people, $75,000.
His net worth was $25 million.
$75,000, like I said.
But he was back then.
Whoa! No, you gotta give some love right here at this moment. At this moment, we knew.
These fellas told me. Now I didn't see this. They say Billy was telling people, "Hey, come down and get baptized." Baptized like 300 people.
100.
and he was doing.
I seen him. I seen him baptized. At least 100 people went down in water for that man.
He did some good stuff. You know, there's a lot of people hit that water. You gotta give him that.
Yeah.
In the name of Jesus Christ, not the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Jesus Christ.
Imagine how people used to think about money before they came to the Lord. You know, you see money, eyes light up. They probably say, "Hey, you know what? Go ahead and book at least about 10, 15 more of these football tours. We probably get $2 million within this month. Maybe within 2 weeks."
Well, I'm just saying a couple weeks.
Because people give special donations.
We talking about 100,000 a night.
But man,
for 10,000 people.
But yeah, so rest in peace to Billy, man.
Billy.
But it does seem like back then it seemed like in the 70s and 80s, and when you hit the 90s peak, you had a lot of people willing to follow for the Lord. Now it's scarce. It's rare, very seldom you see a large group of people like in a church.
No, me and Dez
unless it's like a church where you're able to be free and do what you want to do. That's something different.
When I used to go to church, I used to see all open. I was, going to church with my dad when I lived in Kansas for the summer.
Yeah.
I used to see all old people. I'm like, oh, this must be like where old folks go when they live their life.
See, I'm totally opposite.
Kicked it.
Well, I'm totally opposite. When I was going to church as a young kid, all of us went. Like we had summer camps and everything. Everybody went. They took us to summer camps, was like Bible study, church. Everything like that. I was too.
It wasn't no small church. No.
I remember in the church.
I'm talking about like 9 people.
Nah. 9.
So that's what I'm saying.
I remember in the church, you used to go in and be able to, and nobody will notice that you was new, and you probably can hide out in the back. Now, everybody know of you new. You can't hide out in the back.
There ain't that many people in there. No way. It's only like 10 people in there. So somebody else walked in like, "Hey, who is this?"
Right.
Hey, we in here. Come on up. God bless you, brother. Get on in here.
But shouts out to that. Like everybody following the Lord. It's a great, beautiful thing. Like Jesus is the way. He is the light. He's the lamp.
Yeah.
Only way that you would get to heaven is through Him.
Amen.
So
Dez watched the video yesterday, man. I ain't know Demi Lovato went down there to the same river to go get baptized in the name of Jesus Christ. I said,
don't mention Demi Lovato.
That's the point of me mentioning it, because then the next thing they showed obviously was the new album cover. It was like, how do we go from that to this? I was like, man.
Yeah, they want to trick you. Yeah, they want to trick you.
No, I know that. She's
the same one that came out and said that I go by pronouns now. Pronouns.
Come on now.
Yeah,
after she had a baby.
That's why I say
you wait till you have a baby to start going by pronouns.
Oh, you talking about Demi Lovato?
Yeah, did she have a baby?
She got a baby?
I'm asking.
No, I don't think so.
Man, come on.
It's between her,
baby.
It's between her and Kalani. I know her and Kalani, one of them do.
Nah, Demi Lovato, if we talk, because I be on this stuff, like this kind of stuff like this.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty, Demi Lovato, if we talking about Demi Lovato, she's the one that went by pronouns and she's into that type stuff. Yeah. So if you tell me she just got baptized, then.
No. She didn't just get baptized. They're saying when she came out, she got baptized.
Came out of where?
When she came out as a singer. When she first came out as a singer, she said she was baptized.
Okay,
she was in the church when she came out. When she first came out, she was in the church.
Okay.
She got baptized in the same river that Jesus Christ was in and everything like that. And then they were saying when she got in the industry, now we got what we got today. And I was like, whoa.
Boy, the industry do a beating on some people, man.
What, don't
they come in, Justin Bieber came in serving the Lord. Look at him now. Putting up the signs, wearing the pedophilia clothing stuff, him and Chris. Well, Chris wasn't serving the Lord when he came in, but he wearing that stuff too.
Yeah,
so
the devil,
but hey,
I just want
it's his world. If you want to make it in his world, you're going to have to do what you have to do. If anybody has a camera in their face or a big platform, you better believe they're not pushing the right agenda.
A friend of the world is an enemy of God. If they're a friend of the world, you see them, being loved by everybody, and then everybody in agreement with them, that's because they're a friend of the world, so they're an enemy of God. You got to be able to say, I'm not with this. I ain't with this demonic. I don't fornicate. I'm not committing. I need a wife. I just need one woman. I need to. Are you in agreement with this? The LBGT? No, I'm not. Because this is why. Give scripture. Oh no, they're gonna hate you for that.
Even if you give
if
scripture, they have their own Bible now too. So they believe that their Bible was divinely inspired by the word, which I don't get where they got that from, but sure.
Who, the LBGT?
Yeah.
They got a Bible.
They think the Queen James Bible was divinely inspired.
But I was talking about for as the world, for like Chris Brown and stuff like that, like the world's, how the world feels towards you. A lot of people not going to like you if you come out that way. You can't name a lot of big
Yeah, you're supposed to be like that. No, that's the way the Bible describes it. Ain't it? Say you're gonna be crucified with Christ.
They ain't gonna rock with you. So if they are big, it's because they rocking with the devil. A lot of people rocking with
everybody come out and even all the celebrities want to get up there on the stage. First of all, I want to thank God, our Lord Savior, all of that. And like you said, they're not going to denounce nothing while they up there. Yeah. You're not going to denounce them when you get a chance. When you sit down and have them interviews, they're not going to denounce nothing.
Until you read the Bible, you realize, I don't know who they think they go.
Well, the question
be in here.
Well, listen, I believe them when they get up there and say, I want to thank the Lord or their God. Key word is their God. There's several of them. They're not thinking Almighty. They're thinking their own personal gods, which could be anybody. They got 1 billion of them out here in these streets.
In their mind, they thinking about the audience. They trying to relate,
project to them.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same guy you thinking.
Same way,
but you can tell them by their fruit.
They getting the God, and then you see the big symbols right behind it.
It's like one division, one nation under God.
What stage do you see?
We just like the pyramids.
Thank you.
What's on?
It's cool.
And with like that.
Oh, it's cool.
But okay, so I came across. Now this is an old article. Now this has to do with kind of like what we're talking about now and the way the world is shifting. And this is just to show people how we tend to miss things sometimes, how we don't pay attention to things. But transhumanism. So on the World Economic Forum website in 2020, which was the start of the whole pandemic and all of that, there was an article on their site, and it says, we are entering the era of the Internet of Bodies, collecting our physical data via a range of devices that can be implanted, swallowed, or worn. The result is a huge amount of health-related data that could improve human well-being around the world and prove crucial in fighting the Whoahh. But a number of risks and challenges must be... Okay, so now, that's that. But also on Forbes, there was another article, an exact same thing. It says, what is the Internet of Bodies? IOB. IOB is the Internet of Bodies. It says, when the Internet of Things, which is IoT, when the Internet of Things connects with your body, the result is the Internet of Bodies, which is IOB. The Internet of Bodies is an extension of the IoT and basically connects the human body to a network through devices that are ingested, implanted, or connected to the body in some way. Once connected, data can be exchanged and the body and device can be remotely monitored and controlled. There are 3 generations of Internet of Bodies that include body external. Now, body external, of course, are the wearable devices. These are your Apple Watches and all of that. Body internal. These include the pacemakers, the cochlear implants, and the digital pills that go inside our bodies to monitor or control various aspects of our health. Body embedded. The 3rd generation of the Internet of Bodies is embedded technology, where technology and the human body are melded together and have a real-time connection to a remote machine. Now, this is the last thing before I get off with here. It says, examples of the Internet of Body devices in use or development. The most recognized example of Internet of Bodies is a defibrillator or pacemaker, a small device placed in your abdomen or chest to help patients with the heart conditions control abnormal heart rhythms with electrical impulses. It says in 2013, former United States Vice President Dick Cheney got his Wi-Fi connected defibrillator replaced with one without Wi-Fi capacity. The reason why is because he feared that he could be assassinated by electric shock if a agent hacked the device. So basically, and then they said a smart pill is another Internet of Bodies device. These pills have edible electronic sensors and computer chips in them. Once swallowed, these digital pills can collect data from our organs and then send it to a remote device connected to the internet. The first digital chemotherapy pill is now in use that combines chemotherapy drugs with a sensor that captures, records, and shares information with healthcare providers with the patient's consent regarding the drug dosage and time, plus other data and rest and activity, heart rate, and more. And then they also have a smart contact lens. They have a brain-computer interface, which is BCI. It says where a person's brain is actually merged with an external device for monitoring and controlling in real time. The ultimate goal is to help restore function in individuals with disabilities by using brain signals rather than conventional neuromuscular pathways. But this is a long article. They have other sub-name, and I'm just stop here. But I just want to let you all know what's going on and what's been going on and how it's now coming to the forefront.
We spoke about this yesterday, then we did. We were talking about, men will flee from, death will flee from man. And we'll seek death out and death will flee from you. That's what we were talking about, because the Elon Musk brain chip, that's what he said. He wanted to get to the point where the brain chip would basically reconstruct the body at some point. Want to cure amnesia and anything like that. But if you're dealing with a womb or something like that, he wants the body to literally patch itself up right then and there with no need to go to the hospital. That's saving yourself from death, basically.
People just want to buy into the business because, as you can see, this stuff is already going on. It's like buying into the latest technology.
I can be honest.
Everybody want in.
It's working too. I ain't gonna stand to you on this watch. If you can see the face, I don't know if y'all can see it, but you can see it. There's Myra. You can see it. It has everything on it. My heart rate. It has my steps. It has my cholesterol. Everything.
So you have the IoT. You got the IoT. And that's crazy how something on the outside of your skin can monitor all that.
So would you take the pill? If they say we can put a pill and it'll make sure.
Absolutely not.
It'll give us a heads up.
No, I know they got it. He's saying, would I take it? Absolutely not.
It give us a heads up on your health.
But they warming you up though.
I don't care. Yeah, they warm me up.
We can have more.
I mean, I ain't know they did all that. You know what I'm saying? I got it because obviously I got tired of, dealing with my watch when I'm at work and stuff like that. I can always do things wireless off the watch. It has its own phone line and things. But when I realized that, dang, one day it asked me to track my steps.
But when did
they sign a bill and say, everybody, we don't have time for regular doctors anymore. We're losing a lot of doctors.
Tired of y'all coming in the hospital.
We need people to be able to take these pills. So then when you come to the hospital, everything will be on the forefront. We don't have no conversations because we don't want anybody to get the monkeypox or COVID or whatever. So we got masks on. We don't even talk.
When do we ask for a device? You just
come and we scan you, scan your stomach, or tap into your device. You tell me what numbers you got on your device or whatever with your device.
No, it goes to a dashboard. They can see.
Okay. So therefore, when you just come in, we already know what's wrong with you.
All I need is your social security number. I can pull up your serial code.
When do we ever ask for a device that can track our steps, our blood pressure, our coughs, and all that? Come on now. They've been warming us up for so long. They're getting you, we got a device that can monitor your steps and how many miles you should run.
How much you sleep? What's your sleep pattern? What's the best way for you to...
How can a watch do all that? What's inside that watch? How can a watch do all that?
Thank you. They claim it's the little sensor on the bottom of it that keeps track of it, that's connected to your wrist and everything like that. I'm with you. I doubt it. I've even tested it.
Man, before. You let these people put something in your brain. They go tap in and control your body. You're going to be a freaking zombie. If they
you going to wake up one day and they're going to have you locked up for a murder that you didn't commit, but you committed it.
Yeah.
They got you on camera, but you don't remember. That's because they handle that for me.
Dude, walk past.
Hey, he was talking crazy. I got the perfect person to get him out of here.
See that man in Panera Bread.
Okay.
Choke him out.
Mojo, what we got for the Illinois law that's buzzing around?
The Safety Act. Man, not safe.
They're saying
Safety Act is what it's called. It will take place January 2023. It basically is a non-detainable. These are non-detainable offenses under this new Safety Act. It'll be aggravated battery, aggravated DUI, aggravated fleeing, arson, burglary, drug-induced homicide, intimidation, kidnapping, robbery, second-degree murder, and threatening of a public official.
Begin to tell you how dangerous this act is. First, it was passed in the middle of the night with 40 minutes to read an 800-page bill, which is unacceptable. As of January 1st, 2023, the following things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to, kidnapping, armed robbery, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated fleeing and eluding. Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act. They could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them. It denies victims their constitutional rights. And keep this in mind, businesses and homeowners. Officers will no longer be able to remove trespassers from your residence or your businesses. Someone could decide to live in your shed, and all we can do is give them a ticket. You have to decide what level of force is required to remove them, and whether or not
robbery, threatening of a public official, drug-induced homicide, burglary, arson, aggravated fleeing, battery, and DUI.
Mr. Harris, I think it's a bail bondsman. He said it's like a slap on the wrist. So basically,
yeah, that's kind of what I want to get him to say. To say.
Yeah, I mean,
many crimes. You know, it's like the Wild Wild West.
And these are serious crimes. They're named. They're not saying if you don't get your license plate sticker or if you don't have your ID, you get. They say we still gonna get you for that. But they're saying if you kidnapping, if it's second degree murder, robbing, these are the most serious crimes.
Listen to that sound bite. That man said if somebody break in your house, all the police can do is show up and give them a ticket. They can't make them leave. You have to make them leave.
Oh, he said, I think he was speaking on the employer, like if you're in your place of business, we can't come and get them off the premises anymore. We can't come lock them up. I got
the clip. Wait.
I think he was. I don't know about the. I don't think it was the house. I think it was a place of business.
Place of business. Either way it goes, they can't get them out of there. You have to get them out. You have to take matters into your own hands. Yeah. Now, I'm with you on that place of business, but let's take that a step further. What happens when someone breaks in a house and ties them up?
What do y'all think? What do y'all think these Purge movies was for?
Better defend your house, man.
So, what are your thoughts on it, Myra?
My thoughts is something is definitely shaking with the infrastructure of the way that these systems are being ran. Because when you looking at it, for example, from an investment perspective, like Michael Burry, he got rid of like Apple and Tesla, all these technology stocks, and he started investing in prisons only. He started investing in prisons only. And now when I see these laws coming out, come on, because a couple months ago, we were just talking about the laws that were in New York, right? Wasn't the prosecutor saying that something similar to something like this? Like basically if you're prostituting or trespassing or if you rob, remember in New York, it was something similar. Now Illinois, after a couple months later, they're coming out with the same thing and they're naming serious crimes. They're not saying if you get into a fight or if it's domestic abuse. No, they're saying if you rob, steal, kill, there's a possibility that you can get out and you will flee and we won't even be able to find you.
And then I think they also said that a judge has a decision if he wants to allow you to get out or not. They leave it in the judge's hands.
And this comes in.
When has that ever worked?
And why is this law coming out? But you're saying we need stricter gun laws, but then you're making laws like this for criminals to be free. So what's going on?
I felt like,
hey man, we on the block. I just robbed a dude yesterday.
Man, I felt like
and got out.
When I
seen rob somebody else.
I seen this. I seen the first thing that came to my mind. I said, we need more police.
Man,
we need more police.
The police, you know what? The police are basically gonna start not to care now. Come on now, this is what it is.
I said, we need more police.
What did it say?
Of everything, Myra, you mentioned a lot right there. Everything you mentioned, I think one of the craziest things that was on that list outside of murder and everything like that was kidnapping.
Yeah.
They should say, like, hey,
kidnap somebody.
If you don't have insurance,
if I got a RICO case, I could kidnap one of the officials in that case. Because it says threatening a public official. I could kidnap one of the judges. I could kidnap one of the witnesses and get caught with it. And I am released with no bail.
Yeah.
Now, I'm interested to see. Now, think about it. Illinois and Chicago is one of the biggest cities in Illinois. You're talking about over 3 million people.
Gang, gang, bang, bang.
So now I'm ready to see what states are getting ready to follow suit. Because remember, New York popped it off almost. Yeah. They slid it under. I didn't hear too many people talking about it, but we covered it.
It wasn't in this fashion.
But it was something along the lines with them naming crimes that they won't prosecute you for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So why are states slowly starting to roll this out? Now, I'm just going to pay attention to more states that's going to be on the ball with this. You know what I mean?
Can I throw my 5 states out there who I think joining? I say Philadelphia. I think Pennsylvania will get in on this train. I believe Georgia will jump on this train. So we got Philadelphia, Georgia. I believe California will jump on this train as well. So that's 3. I don't know about Texas. I doubt Texas is going to ride this wave. But before we get to the next subject, I believe Colorado will jump in on this train. So that's 4. New York's already there, so we ain't got to talk about New York. I don't think Florida would ever agree to nothing like that. They got they got like brown laws.
I think they trying to do that like that. Put the heat out there in the streets and then try to do the martial law stuff. It's getting too out of hand.
They gotta create chaos.
They can already call martial law.
If you get people out of the,
they gotta create a massive amount of chaos.
Some people out of the prisons, and then the the criminals are emboldened because they know that they're not going to go to jail that quick. And you know, they said if you can flee, dude said you can basically go to
aggravated
Alaska, without a police looking for you.
Aggravated fleeing,
like that's crazy. Like maybe they were trying to get the streets hot. They want a lot of robberies going down, a lot of murders, a lot of people. We letting them out. So then we can say, you know, we got to shut it all down.
At the end of the day, you got to let the streets take care of it. They said you want to let the streets take care of themselves. Cool. Let's pass this law and let the streets take care of themselves.
Because if a bail
like
bond...
Like said, the police ain't finna care about this. What the hell I'm going to lock him up for? He finna get out anyway.
If a bail bondsman is saying this like a slap on the wrist, that let you know.
That's what I'm saying. One of the
police was saying this ain't even worth it.
You got a bail bondsman coming out, like, doing a press conference.
And he losing a lot of money, so I respect him because you know he would say something because too much money.
Yeah,
you would kill my business.
But the truth in what he was saying, though, even though he's losing money, there was truth in what he was saying. So it's a sad situation going on up there, man. January 1st, 2023. Be on the lookout. I suggest that people prepare. Absolutely.
Just a quick rundown of some things before we get to the other topics. There was and this was just funny. We don't have to elaborate, but there was I think her name is Lauren Boebert. I forgot if she's a governor somewhere. I have to look up her name real quick. But however, she did a press conference. And she basically was saying, because, you know, they're talking about raising the minimum wage up. I think in one state they raised the minimum wage up for fast food workers to like $22 an hour.
Wow.
And she was completely against that. She was like, you know, when I was in school,
I know what you're saying. Go and get it.
She say, when I was in school growing up, you know, the minimum wage was low, and you know that was good for a kid. You know, it kept, you know, now minimum wage being too high, kids won't be able to experience that. You know, it basically will rob them of them experiencing what it was like to basically. She's saying the struggle.
She wanted
it'll keep them basically just working there.
Yeah.
Because they're like, shit, I'm making such and such an hour. Why would I go to school and miss all this money? If I'm getting 22 at McDonald's,
I didn't look at
why am I going to try to be a doctor or go and try to be a RN or whatever? And they making about what probably, you know, certain people.
Wait, Mojo. Hold on. No,
I hit that overtime.
That's a good point. You know, why would I? You want it better. It's like you wanted better opportunities because you can go somewhere and make more money. But now you can make good money at a fast food. I just may stay there. So, but I guess I was looking at it from the aspect like, okay, why would you want people to struggle? So what? These are new times we're living in. You got rent going up, insurance is going up. People can't find housing. So of course the minimum wage of what worked back then, it's definitely not going to work what it is now. I don't care if you're 16 or whatever. If you're working for $1 billion corporation, you deserve to get some type of okay pay.
Yeah, that's why they're bringing in all.
But go ahead, Mojo. What you were going to say, Mojo?
Nah, I forgot. But to be honest with you, I don't like the way she said it, but I voiced my opinion. I've said this before too, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've said exactly what she said. At the end of the day, minimum wage is what it's called. Minimum wage. You shouldn't be making a living off of minimum wage. Minimum wage jobs are for high schoolers and children. Once you hit a certain age.
Who said that though?
I'm telling you.
A job is a job, right?
No, minimum wage is minimum wage. That's why there's a difference between minimum wage, a job, and a career. There's a difference. That's why you have to go to school to get a career is what they claim. Now, I'm not saying it's the way it is because we all know that's not the way it is. That's not the way it panned out. But the way they designed it was supposed to be you go to school to get a career. That's a job that you can make money and make a living in.
Basically, they just set up a way for you to be able to basically measure if you're successful or not.
Like I said, at the end of the day, a career was supposed to give you the 401k and you retire with that. Minimum wage is supposed to hold you over till you could get a career. Unless you up the ranks going to managers or something like that. Now they're saying, oh, they're mad because people are getting $22 an hour. I'm here to tell you right now, I'm with Dez. So what? And I know people are working at, listen, there are people out here fixing aircrafts, making $26 an hour. If a McDonald's worker is getting $22 an hour, I'm quit and I'm going with them. Easy money. Why even go to school and waste the $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in student loans and things like that? I'm flipping the heck out these fries.
Just drop the fries and put ketchup on the burger.
What? I got the secret sauce for you. Don't worry about it.
Football team come in and get
crab pizza.
But see, Dave, this is what I have to tell you. These minimum wage jobs are actually multi-billion-dollar corporations, which you didn't mention.
Yeah.
McDonald's is a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Man,
they're richer.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. McDonald's is not just in the fast food game, but they're in the real estate game.
Listen,
Meaning they own the land that their restaurants are on.
I know.
Like
They
they're the number one real estate company in the world almost.
I'm saying
they got more land than the Catholic Church.
I'm saying, but what fast food, what company job out here ain't $1 billion company? All of them are. Foot Locker, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A,
Right.
Popeye, all of $1 billion
hospitals, doctors, airplane companies.
Now those are different.
But
They
no,
get higher pay
they're
too, but
billion-dollar companies. What
they're
I'm
all
saying,
still billion-dollar.
hold on, Mojo. But what separates them is what the world tells you what success is, right? Yeah. They tells you what success is by categorizing. Oh, this is a job you don't have to go to school for, but if you go to school and get this job, you're successful. That's how they manipulate your mind by saying, I got me a good. That's how they manipulate your mind, saying I got a good career. Because you got some companies you can do work on an airplane and get paid $1 over minimum wage.
That's why I explained.
But they say,
the way
you know
I
what I
did.
mean?
No, that's why I explained it the way I did. The way the idea of minimum wage was set up, supposed to hold you over till you go to school, get a career, and then actually have the money to hold yourself over till you pass away.
But why can't a McDonald's job be a career job if I'm getting paid decent money?
What I'm saying, I was just gonna get to it, but what I'm saying is I don't really care what your job is. If they paying you good money, so what? Who cares?
Or you can take the easy route, man. Sell them drugs.
Dope dealers ain't making more than McDonald's workers nowadays.
Don't sell drugs. Don't sell drugs.
Get in the streets, man. I know plenty weed men who
the
might
devil
always
always he give you a shortcut. He know your heart.
Listen, if you want to get out in these streets and be a dope dealer, you might as well get a job. Ain't no money out here, and ain't none of y'all no kingpin, and ain't none of y'all got no connect to no connect.
You selling that crack? I know you got that paper.
If you selling dope and you ain't making more than $2,000 a week, get a job. Yo, bro,
they look.
Get a job.
They gonna go look down on the McDonald's man.
Yeah, they gonna look down. They gonna look down on the McDonald's work or the dude working at a movie theater. But he making $1,500 after taxes, and here you are hustling, putting your life on the line. Gotta keep a pistol on you. Gotta worry about the feds kicking in your door.
With the baddest guy, because I'm a trick.
With the baddest guy, because I'm a trick. I got the fly splashy clothes, and the only money I got left is to re-up with.
Pulling up in the project.
Man, listen, y'all better do something.
While we're on
the devil do it give you them shortcuts.
While
you don't have to go to school. You ain't got to go to work. You can just hit the block.
While we're on the subject of money, the chairman of the SEC said he would support Congress handling more power to the CFTC to regulate cryptocurrencies. So basically, before I move on with this article, the CFT is a Commodity Futures Trading Commission. So basically, federal. Now, basically, so if they're to have this power, basically, the CFT will be able to regulate cryptocurrencies. While people think that...
I already knew that was coming.
Right. So with all this stuff going on and people think they're getting away with cryptocurrencies and all of this. Now, I'm not saying all of it will be regulated because it probably, we don't know how all this is going to play out. But you better believe that they're going to find a way that they can possibly regulate and be in control over.
In other words, give me some of my tax money.
Oh, yeah.
How can I get my tax money off of that?
That's one thing. Remember when they asked Warren Buffett about it? Warren Buffett, everybody harps on that interview with Warren Buffett said, Warren Buffett said that, cryptocurrency isn't anything. That's why I'm not investing in it. It's nothing. Like there's no nothing there. It's not real. The other thing he said was, like he said, it's not regulated yet. Keyword was yet. He knew it was coming. We knew this was going to happen. You thought you was going to
hold on, Mojo. It says
without the government getting a piece.
Right. It says the Senate Agriculture Committee, the regulatory body of overseeing the CFTC, has proposed legislation that would assign the agency oversight of two of the largest cryptocurrencies on the market, Bitcoin and Ethereum. The CFTC currently only has the power to regulate the crypto derivatives market, such as futures and swaps. So they don't have the power to regulate Bitcoin and Ethereum and like Cardano and all of that.
They're working on it, right?
According to this, they're working on it for Bitcoin and Ethereum. It says proposals in line with the push from crypto lobbyists to have the CFTC regulate the industry. Many experts in the industry believe that laws regulating the commodities are better suited for digital assets than the laws regulating the securities market. So we'll see If this gets passed, that's the game changer.
How you feel about that?
I feel the only way. Okay, I agree with Dez that yes, they want their tax money, and I also adding on to that, the reason they want to regulate this is so of course they can have more control, because when this digital currency come into play, you're not going to have paper money. You think you're just going to go on and we have our Fed app and you have a crypto? No, we're going to be over all of it. How can we figure out a way to be over all of it? Or they're going to say, okay, you want to keep that? Okay, you cannot spend your Bitcoin at this store or over here. You cannot do that. They're going to find a way. Trust and believe that. They'll find a way.
I like it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like it. I knew it was coming, so I like it. I figured it was happening anyway.
If they can't control it, they'll stomp it out.
Yeah, that's why I said if they didn't get rid of it, they were working on a way to control it. But if you ever thought you was gonna come up with your own currency and not have to deal with the government, shouts out to them, and here's the wake up for you. You're not. They're on your top. Unless you out here trading goods, you think you're finna make your own currency far as money, digital currency or whatever it may be. Try again.
But why? But look, not shouts out to them for me.
No, I'm saying shout out to them for even jumping on the fact. I'm saying shout out to the people who thought of the idea of making cryptocurrency.
Oh yeah.
Because they thought they were going to be able to branch away from the dollar society.
They were.
They are. But now that the dollar is crashing, the government said, "I got something for you too." Who else wants some of Debo? Is what they saying. They got something for everybody.
Yeah. It's like the government, man. They gonna find a way so they can see everything. You think you're gonna be living in my world and living off your own currency, and we want to be over all of it. We want to see everything that's going on in your body, where you're going, and we want to see what you're spending, and we want to see how much water, how much electric you're using, and we want to see what you're being taught in schools, and we want. Come on now, it's caving in. That net is starting to get closer and closer. It's starting to get closer and closer. They're gonna make it a little hard on everybody.
Thanks.
Everybody. They finna make